Welcome to Weird Faith. I'm Phil.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Josh.
And we are so excited to be with you for our very first episode.
We're finally doing it.
Yep, it's happening.
So excited. So every time we do this, we're going to have a host. Phil is going to be our host this week for the podcast. And so Scott and I are just showing up, ready to talk through whatever Phil brings us.
Just like you normally do.
Just like we don't do anything else.
Yeah, we do not contribute a lot. We just piggyback whatever Phil's doing.
We're riding his coattails.
We're counting on him to bring us success. So.
And money.
Yeah. And, we'll play games and we want to read the comments of things that you guys share with us and be as interactive as we can with you all. And, Phil's going to have a topic and we're going to goof off a little bit, talk about some cool facts and things like that. And then we'll get into our Weird Faith application.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, the topic is sharks. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Who wants to go first? Josh, Scott.
Well,
he got it.
Wait, you want to go first or you don't?
You're going first.
Oh, that's not it.
Yeah,
okay.
so Nose goes
unless you want to do something
different. No, I'd be thrilled because actually I have a gift for you guys.
What?
You didn't bring a gift.
The most
I did not bring a gift.
Underrated candy I think I've ever had.
Peach rings.
Shark gummies.
Oh my.
Shark gummies.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we'll set them on the table here. We can snack on
They're
those.
like blue raspberry, is that they are?
Yeah, I think it's like blue raspberry. They got like a unique texture. They're really delicious though.
Fruity, chewy, sweet, and sour. We
Did they
got them all.
have any pieces of shark in them?
Let's see.
Yeah, made with real sharks.
Real sharks.
Absolutely.
White grape juice from concentrate. Huh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're the best.
They're chewy for a reason.
We'll share these.
Awesome. Yeah, so I have some interesting shark facts. There was a lot. And I love Shark Week. You know, I like tuning into that stuff when it's on.
Tuna into it?
Tuna into that. Yeah. So, anyway, I love looking at shark facts. I found some things that I thought were cool, but I wanted to kind of lean in first to a would you rather. Okay. A would you rather. So we did this would you rather with the youth group not long ago. And I just am still baffled at some of the answers I got. So here was the question. And I'm asking a bunch of 6th through 12th graders this. Would you rather fight a grizzly bear on land, right? Where grizzly bears live.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Or a shark underwater?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and just turn it to you guys real quick. What do you think?
So, I think, me personally, if I was going to fight one of those animals, first off, I need to know, like, what did I do to them? Like, is it my fault? Did I, do something to their family or something like that?
You made a really insulting remark to their families.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that I'm to blame in this scenario.
Typical.
Right.
Yeah,
yes, that's happened.
You've got whatever's coming for a reason.
Right.
You deserved it.
I'm going to be more comfortable in my native habitat, which is not water, surprisingly. It is actually on the land.
Oh, really?
That's where I'm going to feel the most comfortable.
So you do live on land?
I do, most of the time.
Okay.
I do take my, bubble bath every night promptly at 6:30 p.m. Throw in some bath bombs and
you got a rubber duck?
You like a lavender scent or like a stress relief scent? What do you, eucalyptus?
Yeah.
Jasmine.
Also, I have this one that's pork chop flavored.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Oh.
And really just takes you there.
Nothing beats a savory bath.
Right. Absolutely. I think it's called a soup. But that would be my answer.
So you would go grizzly bear.
I would go grizzly bear because I don't want to fight anything in the water, regardless.
Yeah.
So my logic goes, we took Sadie for like swim lessons and she's 3. I don't think I'm that much better than her at swimming.
Right.
So I think my best chances would be on land where hopefully somebody else is around that I can just outrun that person.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And not look back.
And you're probably not going to outrun a grizzly bear, but you probably have a better shot. Right?
Yeah.
The gap between us and a grizzly bear is probably, it's big, but it's not quite as wide as the gap between me and a shark in water, right? So that's what I'm thinking with Phil is, hey, I'm at least on my home turf. Yeah. If I'm fighting a grizzly bear, I know how to run, use my legs. I might flail at it, and I'm probably not going to do anything. But I think I have a little bit better of a shot than, doggy paddling through water to try to get away from this shark.
But don't they also tell you that you should punch the thing, like punch a shark?
Right. Yeah, but that's the problem with it, right? The arrogance of these middle schoolers, these 7th grade boys who are looking me in the face saying, "Nah, man, you fight the shark. Sharks are so easy to get rid of." Right? When it swims at you, you just punch it in the nose.
That's the entire plot of Jaws. It's easy to get rid of, right?
Yeah, right.
Dude,
absolutely.
have you ever
30-second movie.
Have you ever tried to punch something underwater?
Never.
All right, this is what it looks like. Dude, a full-grown great white shark swimming at me. There's no way I'm landing a punch. I don't even think I could punch Phil right now with a lot of accuracy.
Do it.
Should we try it?
Do it.
I can take a punch.
But so just to give our audience a little bit of perspective on what it would be like to try to fight a shark in the water, which absolutely would be harder and more terrifying. So this year when I was watching the Shark Week stuff, I learned about the short fin mako sharks, and they are just fascinating sharks. They are the fastest shark. They can swim consistently at about 32 miles per hour, and even in some bursts at like 45 miles per hour. So moving that fast in the water, and then you got to think about how big they are too. They can get to be about 7 feet long, 300 pounds heavy. To give you a little perspective of what that would be like swimming at you in the water, we have on the screen. No,
I forgot it.
Picture this. You ready?
Picture this.
This is my bad.
A shark with the size of...
There it is.
He does have it.
Wow.
It's Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Wow.
Or if you live in Boston, you don't have to mix the two. It's just a shack.
It's just a
Right? It's a shack. So, a shark the size of Shaq swimming at you at 45 miles per hour. I'm not punching that thing in the nose, and I'm not winning against it.
So they also say, though, that the way to fight a bear is to play dead, to not fight it at all. But that takes an incredible amount of faith in the altruism of this bear.
It's your word for the day.
Yeah, altruism. Look it up. But
that's a weird word.
That it's inherently good and wouldn't mess with a dead body. Like it knows the laws on, messing with, something that's deceased, and it stays away from it.
Have you ever seen The Revenant?
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Didn't work there.
So, and there, I think at first he was trying to play dead, but then I think he legit just couldn't move at all. So it kind of helped him that he had been maimed and injured so bad. So
there's a story of a person. So this is the other tip they say is if you're in this fight and there's no way you can get out of it, is you would shove your fist all the way down their throat, past their teeth.
You learned that from Tiger King, didn't you?
No, but they
learned a lot from that show, but not this.
You punch it all the way down his throat. And then recently there was a man that did that and then bit the bear's throat and killed this bear with its bare hands. It's bare hands. Yeah.
So he had bare hands.
Yes, he had bare hands. That helped.
He had the right to bare arms and then also had bare hands.
Yeah. That levels the playing field too. We have bare hands.
Right.
Wow.
So is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Let's go to
So mine takes you back to early 2000s. Do you remember the movie Finding Nemo? So our very beloved shark, remember his name? Bruce. And what was his mantra?
Fish are friends, not food.
So when he first meets Marlin and Dory, he talks about this beautiful bond that he clearly sees with Marlin and Nemo. And he expresses his remorse because he never met his own father.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact or sad fact, great whites will never meet their biological father because they actually are fully developed by the time they are born. They're in an egg within the womb, normally eating their own siblings in the womb. And then when they're born, they are actually a full, mature great white. So there's no need for the dad to be around.
Right.
Not teaching them how to hunt, not how to eat, none of that. It's already ready to go. It kind of makes the whole
That's
Baby Shark
scary.
song pretty depressing.
Right.
Daddy Shark is not around.
Oh, man.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They should remake the song.
Right.
Take that part out.
Can I ask a question about that song real quick?
Yeah.
So when did you first hear Baby Shark?
I heard it a lot when I worked at Highland, which is a psych facility near here. I did therapeutic recreation activities with kids.
Was it before or after it was like really famous though?
I want to say that it's been like a camp song for a long time.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
Any of those of us who ever gone like church camp or like 4-H camp, that song's been around for decades.
Right. No, that was like 3 years ago for me.
Really?
I think was the first time I'd ever heard it.
And I'm sorry that you.
Yeah, that's
just
I can't believe I've been neglected that song all my life.
We'll sing it to you later.
I heard it enough in like 2 weeks working there that I've just heard it enough for a lifetime.
As a dad, I thought I'll never sing that song, and now it's like daily.
Oh my goodness.
We changed it to Sadie Shark.
That's nice.
I bet she loves that.
She does.
So here's I got a couple facts here. One is that biologists say that sharks never eat people on purpose. It's always on accident. Right? But I'm not sure that would matter to me so much.
No, that doesn't. You're not any more innocent because sorry,
I've been attacked by a shark, but I'm not going to hold it against him.
Yeah, no, I'm forgive you for eating my child.
Right?
No,
yeah.
He didn't mean to.
Everybody makes mistakes.
I wonder if, back to Scott's fact, if they mean to eat their siblings when they're
Google that.
Right.
I might do that.
Who knows?
Huh?
So the other fact is this, and I found this is pretty weird, that scientists, how they age sharks is by counting the rings on their vertebrae, like a tree, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So they have these, bands around their vertebrae. And so if a scientist wants to know how old this shark is, they, I guess, rip their spine out, and it's kind of
Saw it in half.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, all you'd have to do is say, "Hey, I didn't mean to."
Right. Yeah,
That's what the shark would say.
Yeah, right.
If it ripped your spine out, oops, sorry, didn't know what I was doing.
Not my nature.
Yeah.
But that totally just changes the whole dynamics of this shark's birthday party, though. Is how old are you? Sprung. Cleaver comes down.
Yeah. I mean, shark birthday parties too. How do you even light the candles on the cake?
That's true.
You can't do it.
That's true.
Can't blow it out in the
You
weather.
can't.
All right.
Now, forget that fact. I messed that up. So here's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with sharks, and here's the reason why. We are going to be talking about the ocean. Drop down there in the comments if you love the ocean, and then I can try and convince you later on why you're wrong.
Mountains are always better.
Mountains, lakes, waterfalls, all that.
Better than the ocean.
So much better. The ocean is just constantly trying to get you out of it, right? The sand, the salt water in your eyes.
The tide is kind of pushing you back.
The tide is just pushing you out, and it's saying, go away. Get out of here.
I love the ocean.
Wow.
So
I
you would
love being
drive
at the beach.
like 10 hours just to go squat in the sand.
I have done that multiple times
squatting.
in my life. Yeah. I don't do squats though.
You can bring a chair.
What's it like, Muscle Beach in California? I don't go to do my squats in the sand, no. But I do bring chairs, and I do love being in the ocean. So, but I grew up in Georgia, a few hours away from like Pensacola Beach, Panama City, and we've got family there. So, yeah, I love the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to convince you otherwise.
No.
I don't have a lot of great, points why you should change your mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the nice thing to know is that with the way that environmental situations going, there's probably not going to be beaches much longer anyhow. So
That's what they say.
yeah, no,
I don't know. Mountains.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, but here's what my point is. This last summer, we went to the beach in Florida, and we kind of arrived at like 2 or something like that. And so we had a little bit of time. It kind of was, by the time we got out to the beach, 4 or 5 o'clock, kind of getting dark. So Tori and I were just walking along, and the kids were out playing in the water. I think Noah had gotten to the point where he was done with it. But we're just walking along the beach and see these clouds far away, and it was pretty cool looking out there. And all of a sudden, we hear this, help, help. And Tori's dad was in a situation where he was panicking. He felt stuck. The waves would crash in over him, and he would get lifted up from the water and being kind of dragged out to sea. But then for a little while, just a second in between those waves, he was able to plant his feet back down. And that gave him an opportunity to, scream out for help. So we're at
Wow.
first thinking that, it's just, he's messing around or something. But then we see Chloe is floating away from him as well.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So as any good dad would do, I grabbed a boogie board and I ran out in slow motion to save my daughter, right?
Baywatch
And-
style.
Yeah,
Baywatch,
exactly.
yeah, you can hear the music.
Some people stand and I'm
Did you go change into like the red lifeguard trunks and everything? grease up your abs.
Sunscreen on those.
So I get out there. Somebody from the beach kind of helped Tori's dad get back in somehow. But I get out there and Chloe and I are stuck too. And we're just getting sucked out. I'm able to put my feet down for a little while, but we're still getting sucked out. Well, then Tori was able to flag down some of the lifeguards. They pull up in these red trucks. And here's what happened. We have a video of it. You can see it. Here's the truck pulling up. And this
Is that her dad at the bottom?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
Black. Yep. There's him running.
There goes Hasselhoff.
There he is.
Exactly. And he is ripped. He's got his pontoon thing, and he just cruises out there.
Dude, they do have a way of moving with urgency, but also kind of slow motion at the same time.
Right.
This guy could beat up a shark.
I'm going to get there quick, but I'm going to look great doing it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. So he's coming out to rescue us. Once he gets there, I'm still holding on to Chloe and, making sure that she doesn't get away, but he just pulls us. I held on
Was
to
that you now? that he's got?
Yeah.
So that's you and Chloe there.
Right. That's me and Chloe out there. And he gives us this pontoon thing. And I'm having trouble even holding on to it because of how hard he pulls it. And I didn't feel like I even saw him again after he just started swimming.
Wow.
Right there, you can see how much it's pulling us out because he's going hard and can't make much progress. But I mean, he's making way more progress than I was making. We'd have been out a mile and a half by now.
Is that Noah?
Noah's down there. Yep.
Yeah, dude, he is killing it right there.
Wow.
So it's pretty scary. Chloe, has kind of a little bit of my personality in those type of situations. She's just like, help. Things aren't great, and kind of laughing the whole time. But she was kind of not panicked or anything. But I just noticed that he lifted up his pontoon thing. I guess that was the signal that everything was okay, or he just was like
He was summoning applause.
fist pumping. Well, that's the terrible thing now is people are gathered all over the place, and they're checking to make sure everything's okay. And I'm just embarrassed at this point. I had went out there. I don't even like the beach to begin with. I had went out there to save my daughter from getting, eaten by a shark or something like that. And now I got to come in to this big crowd of people that's looking at us and I've got my shirt off. I don't feel great about myself already. And standing next to this 22-year-old dude that's got more abs than he's supposed to, I think, physically. And anyhow, I'm embarrassed. And so I'm like, Tori, we're okay. Everybody's okay in this situation. There's a crowd of people that's crowded around. Let's get out of here because I don't want any more interactions about this situation. I want to just get out. I'm embarrassed. So we kind of are walking out to the parking lot, and people all along the way are talking to us about it and just saying things that are real helpful, like, yeah, you got to watch out. You can't play games.
So helpful.
Right, yeah. Or
gotta respect the water, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you should have checked the flags. And I did. We checked everything that I could figure out how to check. There was no warnings or anything. It was a little bit cloudy. Didn't really seem choppy, except for apparently in this one area. Even there was a guy later that said, hey, yeah, we should have told you that that section right there has some type of like vortex in it or something, and it was going to pull you out. Oh, thanks a lot.
I can't stand those people.
I know, right?
Seriously.
I'm only helpful
I could have told you that.
Now that this happened, let me tell you how to avoid death right here.
Right.
Next time.
Yeah. Or everybody wanted to say the whole like, we got to swim parallel to the beach. Like, dude, I was just trying not to die. I didn't have a lot of like directional, aspirations of where I was going to go.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. With us starting with the shark facts, I kind of thought you were going to say like a shark like saved you.
Oh, that
Like
would
just
be great.
showed up
Yeah.
and was like, "Hey, buddy, up on my back," narwhal style, take you into shore.
Because they would choose to do that. They would never harm you out of
Not on purpose.
They're
Never
not
on purpose.
malicious,
Right,
They love
right.
people. They love people so much. They want to get real close.
Yeah.
Give them lots of smooches with all those hundreds of teeth
don't
in their
punch 'em.
mouth.
Right. Doesn't work. So anyhow, so we're walking out. People are giving us all these tips about how things are better. I'm just embarrassed as all get out because I just got saved like a little baby by this dude. And that was the moment right there that I realized that I'm no longer young, right? Like this is my midlife crisis.
That was the moment.
Is all happening at once.
I realized that about you a long time ago.
Well, the right hair in my
I've only
beard.
known you a few years, but
You already knew.
I already knew.
You could tell. But so anyhow, so we leave, go back home and get some food and things like that. I'm like, all right, nobody knows about this. It's just a bunch of people that were in Florida that, I'm never going to see again.
Right.
And then I get a text with that video. That's where that video comes from. Was one of my friends that I used to work with in Georgia texted me that video and said, "Hey, dude, is this you?"
No way.
Yeah. Doppler Dale Prather, one of the pastors I used to work with in Florida, loves weather. And he was just watching the weather for kicks in Florida, just seeing what was going on, and saw this video, and he recognized Noah running across the beach. And
That's impressive.
I know, man, yeah, I don't know how close he watches these videos.
Honestly,
but-
watching the video, wouldn't have been able to tell it was you guys.
Well, Dale knew it from. Dale's also a tall man, and maybe they, keep an eye out for other future tall people. They have some type of.
Yeah, Noah's a pretty tall kid.
Yeah, he's getting there.
That's it.
Size 12 shoe, and that's Dale has like a 16, I think, or
Wow.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyhow, him and Shaquille O'Neal. You could put Dale's head up there.
Yeah, we
He's
should
a
have
big
put
guy.
Dale on it. Yeah.
He's a big guy
Next
too.
time.
Pretty comparable to a short fin makeup.
Right. Yeah. Equally as fast. He also is
Absolutely.
fast. So, anyhow, so now somebody I know knows about my most embarrassing day ever.
And now we all know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you know. And that's why this was on Twitter. That's where he found me, is on Twitter. And people underneath this are saying dumb things like, can't believe these idiots putting the life of these lifeguards on the line by not paying attention to the rules. And I'm like, dude, we were just at the beach. I didn't even want to be there. And, it just
You're getting
happened.
trolled.
Right.
And
yeah.
really, let's not forget, Phil is like dad of the year for immediately jumping out there. Phil doesn't want to be at the beach. He doesn't want anything to do with the water. People are going to make you feel bad, but dude, props to you.
Good job.
Hey.
Seriously, you
Here,
went
you know
out
what?
there and you
Have a shark.
you'd have
I'd
got
have
me.
done any,
You'd have
I'd
got
have
me.
done the same for your kids and for you, Josh.
You'd have.
Oh, that's sweet.
You would have just given him
I
a Kit
would
Kat.
not. Yeah,
No,
right.
I would
Come
have beat
here.
Phil if your kid was out
You
off the shore.
You beat him.
I would have had to beat Phil to her and had candy when I got there. I need her to always like me more than Phil.
Now, if Sully's out there, don't care. He's on his own.
Dude,
A shark,
he could probably
a
outswim.
shark
back.
would love to eat Sully.
That's
A
terrible.
little hot dog. Shoot, man, I
Yeah,
don't
how do
care.
they feel about dogs? Would they eat a dog on purpose? You think?
No, never.
Just to see how old the dog was. Does his spine show the same thing?
Yeah. Ugh. This
You
is
have a
getting
wiener
weird.
dog or a dachshund. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the driving home spiritual thought that hopefully will provoke us to have a little bit of weird faith, have otherworldly, supernatural faith, and that is this: even when we're embarrassed, we need help from other people, and it's okay to ask for help. And that's a big thing right now with people, and really has probably been a big thing throughout history. But I think the tide is changing a little bit, where especially men realize, you get that?
The tide.
The
There you
tide
go.
is changing. Men realize, hopefully, that they can't just be alone and grit through their problems and make it all better.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
we need to get to that place. I needed help. I would have ruined that situation. You'd have never saw us again. And we'd be swimming with the fishes right now. But somebody was there that did their job, and they came alongside of us and they helped us in a situation. And you know what? Even though it was a little bit embarrassing, it was definitely better than trying to kick and strive against the problem on my own. And Bible verse that you're probably familiar with is Galatians 6:2, that says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. We need community and we need to bear other people's burdens. But the important thing about that is for us to realize that I also need to allow other people the privilege to live out what Christ called them to do, which is to bear my burdens as well. I can't go to Josh and say, hey, let me help you with that. And then when he tries to help me, I'm like, hey, I got this.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So one familiar way, I know you've recently moved,
right?
And you've had couches and didn't you get beat up by like an elliptical machine or something? Right? Yeah.
You should see the other guy.
You should see the elliptical.
You at least were asking for help. You weren't trying to do it on your own.
So four people carrying an elliptical out of the basement, and I'm on the bottom of it, walking up the stairs, holding on to it. When all of a sudden the leg swung forward and hit me right in the side of the head, right above the eyebrow. And I thought in the moment as I hit the floor, sliding down the stairs, don't pass out, don't pass out, don't pass out. Because I thought if I go down, those three guys are going to have to hold on to it.
Right.
If they let go, the thing's going to fall on top of me and literally just put me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a really bad day.
Would you rather fight a grizzly bear or an elliptical?
Yeah.
Well, I walked away from the elliptical alive.
Okay.
Right.
Bruised and battered, but still alive.
Well, here's the important thing to know, that ellipticals actually never hurt people on purpose.
So, wait, that's not true. Have you ever used one? My hip always hurt.
Yeah, I'm usually in some pain when I get a one too.
That's why I hate the thing.
It's just a slow burn kind of pain. They don't want to kill you right away, but they're going to hurt you for years and years and years.
So you ask for help in that scenario, but how many times have we seen somebody carry something and them be like, no, I got it. It's not even really that heavy.
It's just awkward.
It's awkward.
Yeah,
it's not heavy. Because I don't want you to think I'm a baby that can't carry this thing.
And that's exactly what we do with our struggles, with our depression, or with some type of addiction. We think, I got this. I'm strong enough. Hey, you don't have to be strong enough.
Yep.
You don't have to suffer on your own. God has made it so that you could allow other people to bear your burdens for you. Yeah. And that's what our friends and our family are there for. And they might not always have the answers, but sometimes it's good to just allow somebody to carry that thing for a little while. And embarrassment is not a reason to drown, and it's not
fall down the stairs with an elliptical on top of you.
Yes, exactly. And it's not a reason for you to suffer silently without asking for help. Now, there are some important things to know that, just like that lifeguard saved Chloe and I, although he pulled us in from the beach, he didn't carry us around the rest of our lives, right?
Sure.
So there is a problem.
That would be awesome.
Right.
It would be awesome.
It would be fun, yeah. He would gradually get even more in shape, and I would gradually just
hold on to him like a backpack.
Yeah, like Yoda.
Yeah,
right, absolutely. Yeah. But, and we can't be codependent and just use one person constantly to try and ease our pain. We have to have a community of people, and spoiler alert, that's why God gave us the church.
No way.
We're not supposed to walk alone. We're supposed to have a group and a community of people that maybe Josh is going through something the same time I'm going through something. So I instead go to Scott and, talk to him. And there is a spreading out of all of those different things. And also, it's important for us to know that it is a relationship of give and take. I'm not always the taker. Sometimes I'm the one that is helping that person in their scenario as well. That's called a relationship. And so that's important for us to remember. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was thinking you're talking about how we're made to have community with each other. We talked the other day about how because we long for community and we long to be in relationships with people, we tend to see faces on things, right?
Yeah,
like in the clouds, like, oh, hey, you know who that looks like? Or or on cars, right? All of a sudden you're looking at this car and the headlights and the grill, like it's like, hey, it looks like that thing's smiling at me. Or even, a great example, Castaway, right? Mm-hmm. Tom Hanks is like, I need community with somebody. So there's Wilson, right? He's got his volleyball friend, and he draws a face on him. And because, oh my gosh, I'm going to go nuts if I don't have some kind of community. So quick would you rather, if I can interject.
Okay.
All right. So say you had drifted off and that lifeguard didn't save you, and you were found in the ocean. So you drifted off. Would you rather wash up on an island with Tom Hanks and Wilson?
Right.
Or would you rather be found by Captain Jack Sparrow and pulled aboard the Black Pearl, but you have to be a pirate on a ship for the rest of your life?
I think you probably have strong feelings about this.
I do have strong feelings about this because have you ever been to Disney World?
Yeah.
One of the greatest rides at Disney World, especially Magic Kingdom, is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
I've lived it.
Yes.
I've lived it.
Wow.
Right.
So you're a real
I
pirate.
feel like I'm already prepared
Right.
to live alongside Jack Sparrow. Yeah, I could handle the bad BO. I mean, the dude's got some problems, clearly.
Right.
He's not all there in the head. But
He needs some help to handle.
he always
needs to bear that.
survives.
Right. Yeah. Because he's constantly just drunk. Right. I mean, I guess that's what's
I don't
happening.
think that's the reason why.
No, right. No, not the reason why. But
Dude is an alcoholic. and
he's struggling.
Yeah.
And he needs to, let
he
someone
needs
bear
the
his
community
burden.
He needs me.
of Scott McClure.
That's right.
Dude, the whole movie would have changed
It
if
would've.
he had just
We
found
probably could have
Scott
had one
McClure.
movie, not 5 irrelevant ones.
Yeah, it would have been Jack Sparrow finds the community he needs.
Jack, you don't need
gets
to be
his life
known
on track.
as the greatest pirate ever. You can just go and live a life of purpose.
Like as a chef.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, something else.
But look,
Absolutely.
if this is all
Bartender.
about the other party and the one who finds you, or in the case of Tom Hanks, the one that you kind of find on accident, Tom Hanks needs somebody just as bad, right? I mean, he's got Wilson, but like.
But what happens to Wilson if you wash up to see Tom Hanks? What happens to Wilson? He has a different life.
No, he's still a trio.
He becomes just a volleyball that
It's
you
a
always
trio.
pass around.
Well, I still would respect the volleyball.
You
I
would?
think. Yeah,
Yeah,
Wilson.
okay.
Wilson has got Tom Hanks to that point and supported his soul up until the point that I got there.
Okay.
We're not punting him into the ocean.
Well, now though that you have 3, man, that really makes it a chance for drama.
Oh, yeah.
Wilson is talking
Wilson's
to one
eyeballing
person.
you a little
Yeah,
differently.
right.
Yeah.
Threes are never good.
The curse of 3.
They'd probably start a podcast and it would be terrible.
So that's the point, though, is that we need people and you need rescued when you are sinking, whether you're sinking into depression, and you need depression, whether you're sinking into depression or some type of addiction, or maybe just like a spiritual malaise, right? Where you're just feeling, dead and cold spiritually. Hey, it's okay. I do that sometimes. I've told these guys recently, like, hey, something is bothering me, and I just need to tell somebody about it.
So we went to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, right. And
it's
exactly
always
what happened.
That's the thing too. You always think, like, I'm excited when you open up and you're vulnerable with me about, hey, just kind of emotionally drained or this and this.
I'm excited when you're depressed too.
This makes me feel so much better about it.
But no, I'm always so happy when a friend that I care about shares that stuff with me. But then we tend to think that we're the exception, and well, my burdens are going to be too heavy for them, and so I think we tend to hold on to too much because I don't know. It's like we think our problems are heavier and worse, or we're just embarrassed about it.
Yeah, it always seems like there is no one I've ever met probably that has struck a good balance. Either you never ask anybody for help, or you only ask other people for help. Mm-hmm. And in the church world, that can happen, where, and you have to sometimes ask yourselves, like, are we actually helping this person, or are they becoming dependent? And are we training them how to help themselves? And so we also, that is a balance. But those of us that never do it shouldn't use that as an excuse to reach out to somebody. Because like you said, people are excited to be there for you when, especially you've been there for them in the past, because it's this give and take where I know that if I can be there for you now, hey, one day you're going to pay me back for this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And one day that moment right there, it felt like we just connected.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sorry, Scott.
It's okay.
I'm going to be there for you. I'll be there for you.
When the rain starts to fall.
And someone out there wants to be there for you too. And if you don't have those people in your life, hey, a lot of times it's because we don't reach out and we isolate ourselves. Hey, I don't care if you're going to the park. I don't care if you find a coffee shop you go and sit in. You find a set of people. You introduce yourself to them. You find things that you have in common.
Yeah.
I don't know why, as adults, we have completely lost the ability to make friends, but it's not that much harder than it was in the schoolyard.
Yeah.
You just go say, hey, you like swings? I like swings too. Let's swing on the swings together.
Yep.
And we need to get back to that place.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If I could just share a quick story, there was a time recently where I needed to ask for help, and Phil was on the other end of that. So I have a bad habit of letting my gas tank get way too low before I make a decision to pull into a gas station and do something about it. So I was on the way back from a coffee shop or something the other day, and had to call Phil because I ran out of gas, and in a terrible spot. I was like going over a bridge and had to pull up on this curb into this median
In the middle, yeah.
and in between traffic coming through both sides, and a pretty busy spot.
Yeah, and you were pretty embarrassed about that too.
I was very embarrassed. Like Scott said, I should be.
It was hard for you to call me. I could hear it in your voice. At first, I was like, you idiot. But then he was like,
That's what I said to myself.
Right,
too.
yeah. Then I could hear he was actually like, kind of in his feelings about it or whatever you want to say. And so I had some gas in the shed. And so I jumped in the car and I drove up, and it was awesome because I just stuck my hand out on the left side and I could see Josh, kind of looking at his phone because he was embarrassed, kind of
I was trying
down
to hide.
in his Jeep. And so I handed it out the window, and he saw me and he grabbed it out as quick as he could. It was like an action movie. It was pretty awesome. I wish I had a video of that.
Awesome. That handoff was epic. It was legendary.
It was great.
Yeah, I was embarrassed about it, and I started thinking. I went a few people in my head. Should I ask this person? Should I ask this person? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. They're gonna make fun of me. And then, what are my options? Right? I could either walk to a gas station, which would have taken forever.
Right. Buy a gas can there or something.
Buy a gas can, get it back, or just carry it in little loads.
Right.
Back and forth. Right?
In your hands.
I've got it like in my hoodie. Yeah. Or just sit there and do nothing, or I could ask for help.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously that makes the most sense.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
sometimes we need to decide, do I want to stay stranded? Do I want to stay in this position in my life where I'm alone and can't do anything about it? Or am I going to reach out for help and allow somebody to bear those burdens with me and to walk alongside me, how we're designed to be, in community.
Absolutely. And that's the funny thing too. He was embarrassed, and I, came and brought him gas. And then when I pulled up next to him, once he got to the gas station, I showed him my fuel gauge, and my light was on too. So we need to know that, all of our fuel gauge lights are on.
We're all a few miles away from being out of gas.
We all have problems. Scott's probably got no gas right now. Actually, this morning you said you had to go and get.
Yeah.
Now, Scott's got gas.
I got gas.
So, guys, we're so glad to have joined you today for our very first episode of Weird Faith. Our hope is that you can share this with somebody, and it is a good on-ramp into learning more about our faith. And that's the lesson today, is to allow other people to bear your burdens and bear other people's burdens too. And if you don't have those relationships today, we want to challenge you to go and start conversations with people and learn about them, listen, and actually care about them. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That should be an important piece of this. And go out there and make some friends so that you can bear their burdens and they can bear your burdens.
It would help us out, as this is our very first episode. Yep. We're going to have many more. Only if you do a couple things for us. You need to like and subscribe, whether it's on Facebook or
Smash that
on
like
YouTube. Button. Hit the notification thing. So now every time we pop into your all's YouTube algorithm, we'll show up on your feed, and you get to hear us ramble on about Wilson and bears. So that'd be awesome.
We've got a lot of things, fun things in store.
Got a lot of things on my mind.
Did you be honest? I giggled whenever he read the scripture earlier. Bear one another's burdens and stuff. I really want to make a bear pun.
Yeah,
but
right. Yeah,
bears have come up almost as much as sharks.
That's true.
That's very
well. That's
good.
an important part of this. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's an important part of this. Is we want to build not just a thing where you watch us, but we want to interact with you, and we want to have community with you. And so, one, if you are struggling in some way, we'd love to be able to pray with you. If you want to private message us. Or we also want you to join in on the fun. So there's two things we want you to do. One, we want you to give us ideas on themes that we can bring to the show. Today was sharks, and that led to a story about me almost drowning, and then into a devotional thought. And so we want you to be able to contribute to that. And also, at the end of every show, we want you to vote on who was the weirdest in that show. So you drop that down in the comment of who said the weirdest thing, looked the weirdest, maybe just in general. Maybe I'll win every single week. I'm not sure. I very well could be.
We'll vote them up.
But the next episode, we will we'll have that weird award winner. Weird award winner.
Just the weirdo.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
the weirdo award.
And we've talked about having a weird wheel. Where somebody has to spin and do, whatever is prompted on the wheel. So maybe whoever's weirdest spins the weird wheel, the next time.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
we'll
that.
for sure get
We'll do
them to do something crazy this next episode. That'll be fun. And so we're excited about it. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you next time on Weird Faith.